rape, abuse, STDs, would you vote for it? What if that same solution also caused the economy to flourish? Would you vote for it then? Legalizing prostitution will do just that. I'm going to give you a little bit of the background on prostitution, some of the hazards associated with criminalizing prostitution, and some of the advantages of decriminalizing prostitution. Prostitution is one of the oldest professions in the world. Gerda Lerner, a historian and professor and feminist, said that in 2400 BC, prostitution was listed amongst female occupations such as doctors, cooks, and barbers. It was normal back then. It only became non-normal in America around the 1900s, and that was the same time as Prohibition. If you know about that, it was whenever alcohol was criminalized. Well, America wanted to rid itself of all of its sins, so it also got rid of prostitution by giving out the propaganda that white females cannot choose a life of prostitution. They had to have been forced or coerced into the life of prostitution. So they came out with the Mann Act, or White Slave Trade Act, that criminalized prostitution from between states. However, it was still up to each state itself to decide whether or not it wanted to criminalize or decriminalize prostitution. This is Storyville. It's in New Orleans, and this whole area was a place where prostitution was legal in New Orleans. And Alicia P. Long, who is a historian and professor at LSU, and she is an expert on Storyville, she said that Storyville only closed its doors or criminalized prostitution in 1917 because the Secretary of Defense of the military did not want the military associated with these sort of establishments. So in order to get it in that federal income, Louisiana went ahead and got rid of prostitution. However, it didn't totally get rid of prostitution, it only criminalized it. So prostitutes now had to be in hiding. And this made them, this unfortunately put them in situations where they could be raped, robbed, or even murdered by Johns. Some of the prostitutes from 1912. This is Joel Rifkin, and he was accused of killing 9 prostitutes. And whenever Daily News questioned him about it, he said he targeted prostitutes because they had no family and could be missing for months without anyone knowing. These women over here are the Gigolo Beach or Long Island prostitutes that were murdered. One serial killer who is still at large has been killing women since 2010, and he's killed 16 victims and one transvestite. But he's killed 16 victims, and one of the victims was actually one of the prostitute's children. Some of these women who want to be protected, they decided to seek out help, seek out protection, and they can't go to the police because they're afraid that the police will get them or charge them with prostitution. So instead they go to pimps. And unfortunately, pimps can be just as bad as Johns with their physical and mental abuse. Here is a prostitute who has her pimp's name tattooed on him, and because some of them brand their prostitutes. This guy, who was Rosie John Baptiste, got in trouble for beating and raping a woman and trying to keep her in prostitution, though she wanted to get out. Another thing, Third Generation did a documentary on prostitutes called Tricked, and the pimps in there said that they made their prostitutes walk with their head down because they weren't a person, they were only an object. Another big thing News Magazine also says that prostitutes say they are facing more brutal and savage attacks than ever before from pimps, customers, and especially other prostitutes. So legalizing prostitution will make pimps irrelevant, and it will keep women safe under one roof. And it will keep them, they can also hire police officers to legally guard their establishments. And it will provide them with a community of other women who could be there, who understand what they're going through, and could be like a family. They could finally have that, unlike what Joel Rifkin said. Another major concern is STDs. And some people think that by legalizing prostitution, that STDs will become more rampant. However, the United Nations Development Program says criminalization increases vulnerability to HIV by limiting access to HIV and sexual health services, condoms, and harm reduction services, and affecting the self-esteem of sex workers. So legalizing prostitution won't increase sexual STDs. It will actually limit them because women will get health care and they will be able to have sexual information courses like they do in Australia, where they teach them about condoms and STDs. And the Nevada law says, because prostitution is legal in Nevada, and so the Nevada law says sex workers must go through initial STD testing to obtain a license. They're tested monthly for HIV and syphilis and weekly for other STDs. Another big thing that prostitution will allow is it'll allow our economy to flourish. Some people believe that legalizing prostitution will take away from the money because we'll no longer get money from arresting and booking prostitutes. However, it is estimated taxpayers spend $7.5 million on prostitution control policy per major city, as per the William S. Boyd School of Law. By taxing brothels, Nye County, which is in Nevada, says that the Nye County brothels tax dollars go into many county funds. They pay for all emergency services, the museum, juvenile probation, and many capital projects. Also, the brothel pays $7,500 every quarter for privilege taxes. That's 4 times a year. Each brothel pays the county $3,000 a year, and that doesn't include the liquor license and the $62.50 per month that each employee pays for their sheriff's license. As you can see, legalizing prostitution not only provides a safe work environment for prostitutes, but it can also be a lucrative business. So the next time you see a headline saying prostitute beaten or prostitute murdered, as this transvestite was, just remember all it takes is one vote allowing someone to do what they would like with their own body, and we can change that outcome. Thank you.